What is up, you guys? This is Fallout What If here. And to... Shit. Anyway. Like I said, this is, wait a minute. Okay, so anyway. This is what if Deku took the mantle of Scorpion. And, quick, here's the thing. Deku, well, a couple of things right now. When I said something about Deku being freaking, how do I say this? You know what? I'm just gonna go to the freaking. All right here. This guy said, I don't know why, but you should have say, Izuku, you are the eldest. You guys will basically, hold on here. Correct me, please, if I say it wrong. Shirai Ryu, the strongest clan, becomes the next Scorpion. You have shown a lot of progress. I don't know if you will, but it's your birthright to become the next Scorpion. But it's your decision. I'm happy for whatever you choose. I forgot how Mortal Kombat works, but I imagine Hanzo doing this. Well, you are actually 60% right. And what do I mean, 60% right? Well, here's the thing. I wanted to have Scorpion not want to push this on Deku, not even wanting him to actually be the new Scorpion. Or at least, in his mind, he didn't want him to actually become a Scorpion. Due to the fact that he just wants Deku to somewhat be his own thing. And not only that, he wanted him just to, like... stay away from like all this bloodshed due to his past. I wanted it to be like that, but yeah, it kind of messed up on its own. So you know what, whatever your freaking name was, shout out to Kevin Contreras for telling me that. So yeah, anyway, Deku in the very end goes with freaking Endeavor, and also what's his face? He goes to Endeavor, and Katsuki goes to freaking All Might. Now, like I said before, it doesn't mean that All Might. It doesn't mean that Deku and Katsuki don't go visit each other. It just means more times than not, they're training each other. And Katsuki's going to have the freaking all for one, or one for all, due to the fact that Deku is more of a... He's much more powerful than Katsuki. Even though people don't know, even though I didn't tell you guys this, due to the fact that Deku is trained much more harder than Katsuki. He sometimes takes naps and all that. But Deku puts in the work. So he's not going to have one for all because, like I said, he took up the mantle of Scorpion, even though Scorpion technically didn't want him to be the new Scorpion. But like Kevin said, Scorpion said that this is your birthright. So anyway, Katsuki, for most of the time, he sticks with some of the heroes. And Endeavor teaches freaking Izuku basic, like different martial arts. And Deku teaches him his martial arts. Due to the fact that there's so much combined into his fighting set. And Todoroki is there. And remember, she is a girl. This man is going to probably have two girls, which is Reiko Yanagi, the ghost girl, in class 1B, due to the fact that this is like the Hell Reaver. No, the Hell, what's it called? The Hell something? The Hell Revenant or something like that. No, Hellspawn, okay. So, Endeavor's like, well, kid, you're going to be living with me, and this is probably much more different than where you're usually at. And Deku says, don't worry, he doesn't say that, he says, don't worry, I'm used to living in my hut. And he forgot that their hut wasn't actually bad. It was actually like neat. Pretty clean. Nothing much was cleaned as when they have sand all over the floor, but they made do, and that's it. So Todoroki is there, and she's looking at him. Deku's looking at her, and she's like, So, my father's brought a new... what? Let's see. He looks strong, but what is his quirk? Due to the fact Endeavor didn't tell him this, she says, hey, you. Deku not looking at her. Hey, you. And in this one, she's a little more, like, bossy at times. But in most cases, she is just a shy girl. Or she doesn't talk to people a lot. She says, hey, you, with the hood. Deku's still not looking at her. Deku is just basically not answering to her due to the fact that she's not actually calling his name. Deku doesn't know what's called. Is hearing words, but if he doesn't hear his name being called, or at least people, if he knows people and they talk to him and they say, hey, Deku, or just say, hey, and Deku will just automatically recognize the voice. So it's kind of how he works. So freaking Todoroki or Shota says, what's called, hey, you. And she says, jeez. And he grabs him, but this is when Deku freaking flips her. And basically, it's basically like he was in a, Deku and Endeavor were in like where they train a lot, so there's like cushioning on the floor. So when he flipped her, she fell on the ground. Deku's sword in her freaking mouth. Last of Us 21, I swear if you make a freaking joke, you know what, I would expect it still, but I swear, not right now. Whatever. But anyway, let's just say he has his sword, and it's what's called, he's holding her in place. Todoroki not even batting an eye. She just looks at him and says, what are you doing? No, he doesn't say that. He says, blink once for yes, blink twice for no. Are you trying to fight me? She blinks twice. And Deku's like, are you related to Endeavor? She reluctantly blinks once. And he says, are you my enemy? And he does that. But if you guys didn't want that, due to the fact that Deku has much more common sense, she would just grab him, he would turn around, and she would say, what is your big deal? So one or the other, it doesn't matter, it just leads up to the point where Deku just says, what is your name? And she just says in the very end, my name is Shota Todoroki. And I wanted to ask you, but you couldn't, you were spacing out probably. I want to know, who are you? Deku says, my name is Izuku Hasashi. But you can just call me Izuku. And this is when freaking, when Todoroki says, well, my name is Shota Todoroki. You can call me just Todoroki. Deku says, okay, Shota. So, why'd you need me? And Shota's like thinking in her head, did he just call me Shota even though I told him not to call me Shota? This bastard. This true swine. How dare he? But anyway, Todoroki just says, okay, why are you here? And what is your quirk? She has a suspicion that Endeavor's taking him due to the fact that he probably has a fire quirk. Deku says, I don't have a quirk per se. And yeah, he technically is telling the truth, but he says my abilities are basically that of a revenant of hell. Her saying, great, somebody who thinks of themselves as higher than the others. Wait, he has a fire quirk? Ah, jeez, not another one. Look, Deku or Izuku, here's the thing. I don't like you already. You have a fire quirk, and I don't like that at all. I don't like my father's quirk. I don't like what he is. I don't like who he is. So, if you need me, I will be over there in my room. And I guess he will want us to train with each other. But this doesn't mean me and you are friends. Do you understand what I'm saying? And Deku's like, are you just going to be this annoying? Shota's saying, wait, what? And Deku's like, you heard me. You're getting mad right now for a reason that I don't know. But this has probably something to do with your father. And looking at your father, he probably trains you very hard. He probably trains you very hard. And you probably don't like that. And I understand. Training a lot doesn't always feel right. Or it's not always fun. But training is what makes you strong. And Todoroki's like, wait a minute, no, you don't understand. You don't understand why I don't like him. It's not because of training. I'm used to training, but it's like, no, you don't understand. And Deku's like, no, don't worry, I understand. I'll go easy on you. And Endeavor pops in and says, well, it looks like that you both are getting acquainted. Todoroki, this is Izuku Midoriya Hisashi. He is related to the famous Scorpion. And Todoroki is like, Scorpion? Wait, the assassin? Hold on. Wait, Scorpion? The assassin? Well, this does explain a lot. But why would my father have the son of an assassin? He hates villains. So he would probably hate Izuku. And Endeavor just explains a couple of things. Number 1, he has fire and he can control it. Number 2, he has what's called good combat abilities. Number 3, he punched All Might in the balls. That is all I need. That is all that makes me happy with this young man right here. And you. Feel free to do whatever you want around here, as long as you obey the rules. And yeah. Now, you two spar with each other and use your quirks. Todoroki, I'm expecting you to use your fire side. Todoroki looking at him looking at him like if she was growling at him. And this is when Endeavor says, I'm going off to do a bit of hero work. So, hop to it, you two. And Todoroki is like, jeez. I hate him. And Deku's like, why do you hate him? And she says, here's the thing. You probably aren't going to understand this at all, but I don't like him because of things in my past. Todoroki being a little more, talkative about her past, I guess due to the fact she's a chick. I don't know. And plus plot. Let's just stick a little bit of plot right there. Like Phil Swift. So anyway. Deku just says, look, it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter at all. And really, to be honest, you should be happy about your family. Todoroki saying, what do you mean, happy? Did you not understand what I just said? My mother is in a hospital. My father is there, in my head, telling me about his fireside, which is the whole cause of all this. He should have... I hope he dies one day. And this is when Deku just slaps her in the face. And he just says, you're lucky to have a family. You need to calm down. You have no right to talk about what's called having a father die. And this is when Todoroki says, well, he should. He's the only one who caused me hell for all my... And he slaps her again. And Deku says, he may have caused you anger, but in the very end, if you don't get used to it, you'll never be mature enough to handle things like this ever again. You'll just be in what I like to call it, purgatory. And Todoroki gets mad again, and she tries to tell him something, but he just slaps her again. Doing this probably like 5 times, her trying to say he is dead to me. He doesn't care about me. Deku just saying it doesn't if he didn't care about you, he would have just left you alone and not even talked to you at all. But he's training you to use his fireside. But what he did to my mother, then he slaps her again and says, look, what he did to your mother is bad, but I don't think he meant to do that to her. Somebody like that, who still cares about you enough to even talk to you, wouldn't actually do that to, wouldn't have done it on purpose. And like you said, your mother did that to you out of her, her not being able to take it anymore. I'm not saying this man's perfect, but he still doesn't treat you like crap and throw you to the side. And this is when when he raises his hand up, and Todoroki's already in tears, and Deku just says, he pats her on the head and just hugs her and says, look, I don't know a lot about this family, but I do know that you still have a family. Yes, he may not be perfect, and yes, he may have caused all this, but at the very end, he is your father, and you're still lucky enough to have a father. My parents are dead. My brother's mother is dead. I basically have to live on this. I have to basically live with the sad truth that they're never going to come back again. So, either you stand up and train yourself and hone your skills to become the best that you can be, or will you just wallow in sadness and sorrow and just float and then drown in the misery that you are in right now? Todoroki crying and Deku just holding her. Now, you guys might say, wait a minute, this would never happen. Well, sometimes things happen, and Deku is just treating her like, he's treating her basically like how people would treat, he's literally slapping some sense into her. Her not liking it, but her understanding the very end, understands that she was kind of wrong for what she did or what she said, and her crying due to the fact that not only did the slaps hurt, but her having to tell him the whole thing because Todoroki is not like a super jerk. She can tell a story, or she could tell what happened without having what's called, not like Todoroki in canon. He couldn't do that as much unless there was a reason, but she could just say it due to the fact that girls talk about their feelings a lot more than guys. But anyway. So, Deku just holds her and says, "Sorry for slapping you, but you shouldn't be crying anymore. Come here. I'll, hold on. He just picks her up, bridal style, and says, where's your kitchen? And she just points the way, telling her to go left, take a right, sits her down on the table, and just makes her some lemonade. He says lemonade usually helps out a lot with when people are sad. Let's just say it's because, well, technically it's due to the sugars, filling your body up, making you a bit more energetic, taking away a lot of the stress, and yeah, making you basically happier due to the fact it's also sweet, and it's lemonade. Who doesn't like lemonade? I swear to God, if you say nobody likes lemonade, I'm going to rip your freaking throat off. But anyway. So, Deku does, I would have guessed firebending, like, okay, I don't care. But right now, he just talks to her, and he says, yeah, it's pretty much understandable. So, do you want to train with me? Todoroki says, not today. And Deku just says, alright. Him carrying her and says, where's your room? Deku just say, like, looking at her and just, yeah, he just saying that. Todoroki is like, you don't have to carry me. And he just basically carries her and says, just shut up and just go get some rest right now. We will do this probably around 8 o'clock, and then we will all go to sleep. How does that sound? Todoroki, not knowing how to feel, she is kind of upset with Deku just slapping her, but she also understands that what Deku did was technically for her own good. Not only that, he did make a lot of good points, and he also said something to her that was called kind of, how you say it, kind of got her attention. He said that it's technically not his fire, it's yours. Just like my father's fire is not my father's, or my father's fire is not my fire, and my fire is not his fire. Ours may be similar, but I can control it. He can't control mine. My fire, at least. But this also means that you need to just calm down, take a breath, and think about it at times. Todoroki was called getting the what's called attention she need, or getting that feeling from Deku, like basically saying that he basically just told me what I need to hear, and also the truth. Her actually coming to terms a little bit with her fire, and Deku says, look, I'll wake you up in a couple of minutes, or in probably an hour. It's still morning. Do you think your mother will be up this time? And she is thinking, what does he mean by her being what's called her if she's awake? And Deku is thinking what's called that she's probably gone through a lot in her life. Because if you guys think he's going to be super cold-hearted, no. He's not cold-hearted at all. To villains, yes. To people who have bad past and to the innocent, he's usually kind of mellow, just like his father. So, that happens, and basically we cut to Kacchan. Why did I just call him that? It actually means little B in what's called, or I think that's where I remembered it. But anyway. So, Bakugo, or Katsuki, talks to All Might, and All Might training him and teaching him right now what's called how to use his quirk. Maybe there's a different way. Not only that, he's also telling him, young Katsuki, young Katsuki. Bakugo saying, what is it? He says that your brother, Izuku. Am I right? Katsuki saying yes. How strong is he from you to him? Who is the strongest one? Katsuki says, well, he's trained more than me, and basically means that I'm technically the weak one in the family, or I guess out of the two of us. What's called All Might saying, well, young Katsuki, I think I would have a solution to this possible endeavor of yours. Katsuki saying, what is it? And All Might just says, do you want to gain power to help out what's called your brother, and to help out do you want to help out your brother and help out the people around this city, even the country itself? Bakugo says, yeah, but it's not like I can just get it automatically. I have to keep training. And this is when he's freaking All Might's like, well, not necessarily. You see, I have a quirk that grants me a whole thing of what's called power. He basically just explains everything. Katsuki's like, okay, I'm going to take it, because there's no way he's probably going to pass this up. And he also teaches one of the reasons why, which is that if Izuku's going to take up the mantle of his father, he wants Bakugo to make sure he doesn't go down the path of evil, because the path of evil doesn't suit him very well. Katsuki says, I know that. That's why I train at times, so that way he won't do anything stupid. And he says, you're a good brother, young Katsuki. Now, do you want the power? Katsuki says yes. Do you want to protect the world? Katsuki says yes. Well, young Katsuki, the only thing left you have to do is right in my hand. And he sees a piece of hair, and he's like, wait a minute, is this a joke? What is this? And this is when what's called All Might says, eat this. And yeah, that whole fiasco happens. His Bakugo's pride is kind of like shattered. It's kind of like slashed, or it's been kind of stabbed. And yeah, that's what happens. Now, an hour, like 2 hours after that, they go to the freaking, what's that thing called? To the hospital. Where Todoroki's parents or mother's at. Deku using his teleportation thing, due to the fact that he's just teleporting from he's teleporting from block to block. Him being able to do this a lot, so much, due to the fact that he's been training with Bakugo into doing probably, let's say, 30 of them. And the hospital not being that far, it's much more easier to get there. So, they visit what's called Rei, I think that's her name, Rei Todoroki. I don't know if that's her name. I actually forgot. But I think that's the mother's name, Rei. So, Rei talks to him and talks about freaking how do I say it? Mm, I really did. I just forgot. Hold on. Okay, so they talk for a while, and she technically said she sees freaking Todoroki, and she has a smile on her face due to the fact that it's been a long time, and Deku is right there. What's it called? Deku's right there. Not freaking inside the room, but he's right, like he's behind the wall, just to make sure that if she needs help or some support it. And if she needs his support, then he'll give it to her. Them talking, and this is when she doesn't know what to say. Todoroki's mom saying, "So, how have you been? And where'd you get those? Why are your cheeks kind of scratched?" And this is when she thinks, "Wait, did your father do this? Please tell me no." And this is when Deku says, "No, he didn't. His what's it called? Endeavor did not do this. I did." Him explaining what happened, and basically Todoroki coming to terms. And she says, geez, that's her not knowing what to say, but she says, "Thank you for your help." And what's it called? He says, I'll go get some water." And this is when Rei is like, "He seems like a nice young man, although he did slap you." Well, I guess that's how people are these days. Her, still feeling sometimes kind of ill, says, "So, Todoroki, did your father take him due to the fact that he has fire?" Because she already said something about he's training somebody he uses fire. So she says, "Is that the kid?" Todoroki saying, "Yes, that's it." And her saying, "Oh, well, hopefully he's a kind man. He seemed kind and he was honest and straightforward with me. He even took, he even took responsibility and admitted it was him." Well, that's nice. I wonder if he's going to be one day your boyfriend. Todoroki's like, "Wait a minute, what?" Mom, just, you know what? I'm just going to go over there into the, what's it called? You know what? I'll sit down, Mom. I'll just sit down. Don't worry about it right now. Just, yeah, pretty much tell me about your day. And yeah, that happens, and that goes on for a good 30 minutes. Them leaving, and Todoroki says, "Izuku, I gotta do something right now. Can you just go in front of me, or what's it called? How you say it? Just wait for me?" Deku says, "Yes, I'll do that. Just do what you gotta do." Todoroki says, "Okay." And she goes to the restroom. Her immediately, what's called, starting to freeze her, how do I say it? Her starting to freeze the freaking sink and heat it up. And her blushing, thinking, "What the heck? What does he mean by that? We just met like a good 1.5 or 2.5 hours ago. Why would she say that?" And she does kind of feel something. I guess being slapped, what's it called, does a lot more wonders to you than people would think. But yeah, she kind of does realize that he basically helped her out with a lot of things right now. Emotionally, he helped her out. Physically, he, smacked some sense into her and carried her. Not only that, made her lemonade. Saw how kind he actually was, and she thought that fire people would probably be jerks, or at least her father. But she's even seen a little bit of difference within him. He really did, in her mind, he really is a jerk. But he does still care about her and love her, even though in his head she is still like a project, or like how do I say it? She is somebody who has to beat freaking All Might. She also sees that, yeah, if he hold on, yeah, if he wanted, if in what's called, if he wanted me, I forgot what to say, but her just saying in the very end, if he didn't actually love me, he wouldn't have even talked to me. And yeah, Endeavor does love her, but he's also thinking about her as like as somebody who he needs to train to beat freaking All Might. So yeah, that's what happens. Them talking and becoming quite good friends. Now, Todoroki does have a crush on her, and how do I say it? Deku is just thinking, so what now? What should I do? She told me to go and do my own thing, but yeah, pretty much there's nothing else to do. And this is when, let's say, a mugging happens. A mugging happens, and a certain white-haired girl is getting mugged. Her kind of being scared, what's called, just tries to say, I'm sorry, please just don't hurt me. I didn't mean to what's called, take up any of your guys' time. And I'm just saying, okay, just shut up and give us the money. You really just don't get it. These chicks are always as airheaded as usual. Saying something along the lines, I don't really know how muggers will talk, but this is when Deku's all like, finally something happening. Him just jumping and using his feet to like push him, using the fire to what's called burning it to push himself even faster, and kicking this dude in the freaking skull, or doing that fire kick, which will make Scorpion do a flip, and hitting the guy with the heel. The guy gets his skull cracked, and this is when the other guy tries to pull the gun, and Deku grabs the freaking gun with his spear by saying the words, "Get over here!" And the skull and the freaking gun has been pierced by Deku's spear, or chain spear, or kunai spear, or kunai chain. Basically, the dude is what's called been punched by freaking Deku so hard that he falls down to the ground, and he grabs freaking Rei, Reika, or I think Rei, or Reiki, or Reikai, something like that. And basically, she is teleported up into the freaking building. Him saying, "Are you alright? Are you alright? Doesn't seem like they injured you. Are you gonna talk?" Her kind of being speechless, and him saying, "Oh, yeah, they don't. That, what I did was technically a crime, so, yeah, just, how do I say this? Just go, and call the cops. Don't, if you don't mention me, I would be very grateful for that." And this is when Rei says, or Reika says, no, it's fine, just, yeah, don't worry about it. And Deku says, okay. And this is when Reika says, wait, what is your name, by the way? Because even though she remembers Deku, it's kind of she just doesn't know him or Scorpion. She just wants to thank him. And he says, my name is Izuku Hazashi. And that name kind of rang a little bit of a bell. And she says, Hisashi? 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 Well, I'm Reika Yanagi. This is when Deku says, "Oh, it's been a while since we talked. How's it been?" Deku talking to her was called her not knowing what she meant. What did he mean? Him saying that, well, a long time ago, I used. There's there's two guys who were picking on you, and I beat them up. Rei, seeing Deku clearly, says, "Is it alright if I, Is it alright if I ask you to take off your cowl, Deku, or the hood?" Deku saying, "Yeah, it's fine. I can just remove it." Her seeing Deku, and her kind of being happy, due to the fact they talked for like, let's say a couple of days, and her was saying that one day they would like to meet again, or she would like to meet him again. Him saying yes, and basically Deku remembered her. Well, due to the fact that he just remembered her. And she says, like, a lot of things, like, how were you, and what do you do these days? Basically, them just having a bit of a chat. Her saying something about, wanting to go to UA. And even though they're 12, she's thinking that she wants to do it. Deku saying, well, the person who's taking care of me right now is, going to do that with me and take me to UA, and also my brother. Them talking a bit more, and after that they split. Deku's all like, wow, it's been a while. She looks cute. But right now I just gotta, oh crap, Todoroki's gone. Sheesh. Him just saying that she said she was going to take care of something, but all she just did was go home. And this is when Deku just teleports again, but all the way to the house. Due to the fact that he was running and running and running, teleporting, basically meaning that Deku is going to have his two girlfriends, but not right now. So that's what happens. Todoroki trains with him and spars. Her wondering why does he have two swords and a chain with kunai. Him just explaining that his father was Scorpion, so these are the weapons that he used to kill all of his victims. And Todoroki's like, oh wow, that's kind of impressive. Kind of unsanitary, but impressive nonetheless. Deku's out like, yeah, pretty much that's cool. That's actually kind of cool. And my father could do something with his skull. And she says, oh, is that something like his quirk? Or is that his quirk? Or something like that? Deku says, no, it's... And Deku forgot to say it's a quirk, but he's just like, no, it's not a quirk. It's a family tradition. Her saying, oh, so you can do it too? And this is when Deku just grabs his face, and basically fire comes out. His head looking like freaking Ghost Riders. Her kind of freaking out is like, wow, that's kind of actually cool. And yeah, pretty much that happens. Them sparring and doing stuff over the next 2 years. Endeavor as well being part of the family. Todoroki being a little more nicer to him over the days, until they become a bit closer and closer and closer. and so have the two other siblings. Basically, yeah, things are much more changed due to the fact Deku was just there slapping sense into people. But anyway, this is getting a little bit too long, so I'll leave the next part soon, or do the next part soon. But yeah, like, comment, and do subscribe to the channel. Anyway, this is Fallout if you're here. Bye.